As we get closer to the end, the truth will become more and more precious, and the people that hold it will have a great responsibility, because the world will reject what they have to say, persecute, hunt them down, and kill them. These truths are hard, and it takes a certain kind of person led by God to bring these truths to the surface. So choose you this day whom ye will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Welcome. Hey guys, I just put this video together for you guys. It's about the 3 days of darkness. It's a bunch of information I compiled. It jumps around a little bit, but it's all really good and important information. I highly suggest you watch it all the way to the end so that you don't miss anything that I have to share with you. Alright? God bless.
5 planets, a comet, and an asteroid are going to align in the early skies of April and May. As the planets arrange themselves in a straight line configuration as seen from the Earth, they will end up in close conjunctions with other planets. The first important date to look forward to is March 28th. On this day, the Moon will pass close to the triangle formed by Venus, Mars, and Saturn.
And in those days, the angel Uriel answered and said to me, Behold, I have shown thee everything, Enoch. I have revealed everything to thee that thou shouldest see the sun and the moon, and the leaders of the stars of the heaven, and all those who turn them, their tasks and times and departures. And in the days of the sinners the years shall be shortened, and their seed shall be tardy on the lands and fields, and all things on the earth shall alter, and shall not appear in their time, and the rain shall be kept back, and heaven shall withhold it. And in those times the fruits of the earth shall be backward, and shall not grow in their time, and the fruits of the trees shall be withheld in their time.
You must be familiar with Orion's belt, an asterism comprising 3 stars in a line: Alnitak, Alnilam, Mintaka, in the constellation Orion. On April 1st, you'll see a roughly identical configuration formed by Mars, Saturn, and Venus. The 3 planets will almost come in a straight line, with Saturn in the middle. After a close approach with Venus in the last week of March, Saturn is now heading for close conjunction with Mars.
And the moon shall alter her order, and not appear at her time. And in those days the sun shall be seen, and he shall journey in the evening on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, and shall shine more brightly than accords with the order of light. And many chiefs of the stars shall transgress the order prescribed, and these shall alter their orbits and tasks, and not appear at the seasons prescribed to them. The whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners.
This is going to be epic. It will be the first notable conjunction on the way to planetary alignment. Mars and Saturn will be just 19 arc minutes apart in the southeastern pre-dawn sky of April 5th. After April 5th, the angular separation between Mars and Saturn will increase, with Saturn gaining altitude in the dawn sky. Jupiter will start emerging from behind the Sun in these 2 weeks and become an early morning object. It will be too close to Neptune. April 16th through 24th will be a good week to see the 5 planets align. Venus will be the brightest, followed by Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Neptune. Comet 22P Kopf will be close to Mars, and the asteroid Vesta will be close to Saturn, as shown.
And the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them, and they shall be altered from all their ways. Yea, they shall err, and take them to be gods. And evil shall be multiplied upon them, and punishment shall come upon them, so as to destroy all.
Although April 16th through the 24th is an excellent period to see the planet parade, make sure you don't miss April 24th specifically, as the 23-day-old moon joins the party. The moon will eclipse the sun a week later on April 30th.
Beyond that abyss, I saw a place which had no firmament of the heaven above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw there 7 stars, like great burning mountains, and to me, when I inquired regarding them, the angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars in the host of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times, and he was wroth with them, and bound them till the time when their guilt should be consummated, even for 10,000 years."
Hey there, Skywatchers. Doppler 10 meteorologist Jeff Booth here. In the mornings this week, you'll be able to find 4 of the 5 naked eye planets. And actually, if you look out Monday morning, you can use the moon to help you find those. These are going to be in the east to the southeast before sunrise. You'll have Saturn, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. Venus will be shining brightest, but yeah, you'll be able to see those in the east to southeastern sky. So again, on Monday morning, use the moon to help you find that. Now, this will be closer to the other planets as we head through the week before it finally kind of moves away from all those. But yeah, you can use that to help you find some of the planets.
And I proceeded to where things were chaotic, and I saw there something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above, nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of heaven bound together in it, like great burning mountains, and burning with fire. Then I said, "For what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast in hither?" Then said Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, "Enoch, why dost thou ask, and why art thou eager for the truth? These are the number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and are bound here till 10,000 years.
And actually, one of our planets, too, Mercury, will reach something known as the greatest eastern elongation. Basically, this is when it will be kind of farthest out of the sun's glare, so it'll be easier to observe this week. And actually, you want to look in the west-northwest at sunset. You can find Mercury, and not far off will be a famous asterism known as the Pleiades. So the 7 sisters will be hanging out with Mercury as we head on through the week. Also, we are looking at a new moon this week. That gets here Saturday at 4:28 in the afternoon. So we are going to be looking at darker skies as we head through the week, which basically means it'll be that much easier to do some stargazing. So when we get a little clearing, get out there and enjoy the night sky. And we're also going to see, well, we won't be able to see it, but we'll have a partial solar eclipse. It will be visible from South America, parts of that, and in Antarctica with this new moon. So yeah, folks down that way will get a partial solar eclipse. But here we'll just see a darker sky for better stargazing. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Jeff Booth. Happy hunting.
Hey guys, so I thought I'd come on here and make a video to follow up what I had started with the 3 days of darkness. I'm going to run through a bunch of biblical stuff, show you guys all kinds of stuff that I found, what's going to happen. There's a lot of prophecy. It's about to be fulfilled, and I'm going to walk us through it, and you're going to see what I see. So we're going to start here at Amos 8. "Thus hath the Lord God shewed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, A basket of summer fruit. Then said the Lord unto me, The end is come upon my people of Israel. I will not again pass by them any more. And the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, saith the Lord God. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence." Okay, I should have said this right at the beginning, but this chapter in prophecy has yet to be fulfilled. You will not find this fulfilled anywhere in the Bible. So, that means that this is an end-time prophecy. And so, clearly you can see it right here. It says, "The end is come upon my people of Israel." And then he says, "I will not again pass by them any more." Okay, so there's going to come a point here pretty soon where God is going to remove himself and people are going to look for him. He won't be there. All right? The songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, saith the Lord. There shall be many dead bodies in every place, and they shall cast them forth with silence. When this 3 days of darkness hits off, there is going to be bodies everywhere. Okay, this darkness is going to kill people, all right, because it's the fallen. It's not just like nighttime, it's spiritual darkness. All right, these are going to be entities that are going to want to come into your home. They're going to try and get in, and they want to get into your eyes, okay? They're going to enter through the eye gate. That's how they get you. So you need to stay inside your home. You need to black out your windows. And I'm going to give you scriptures for all this. So stick with me, because I'm going to show you all this stuff. So I say you need to black out the windows. They're going to try to come to your house. They'll knock on your door. They'll pretend to be people you know. They'll sound like people you know. They'll sound hurt, in desperation, in need of assistance. But I'm telling you, it's not going to be who you think it is, okay? It's going to be fallen angels looking to kill you. You cannot open the door. Just remember, no one can go outside, so it would be impossible for it to be whoever you think it is, all right? Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail. Does that sound like any cities we know? San Francisco, L.A., I don't know, pick a city. When will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, falsifying the balances by deceit? They just want to get right back to business as usual, right? Scamming people. When will this be over? That we may buy the poor for silver. Yeah, like our elected officials do, right? They're, what would they call them? They would call them illegal immigrant housemaids, right? And the needy for a pair of shoes. Yea, and sell the refuse of the wheat. The Lord hath sworn by the excellency of Jacob, surely I will never forget any of their works. Shall not the land tremble for this? Okay, that's an earthquake, you guys. And everyone mourn that dwelleth therein. I said that because we're going to be talking about this later. So just remember that it does say this, shall the land not tremble right before the darkness. And everyone in the morn that dwelleth therein, and it shall rise up wholly as the flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned, as by the flood of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. All right, so there's a lot of noons on earth, right? 24 of them to be precise. So, according to Sister Kerry, who I will leave her links to the 3 Days of Darkness playlist in her page, she is a prophetess of the Lord. She is very good. She has some really good prophecies and a lot of information on the 3 Days of Darkness. So I will leave that linked in the description page. But according to her, she said that she believes it's going to be Jerusalem, which would make sense. That's God's holy city. So it would make sense that that would be where noon is. So you're going to need to figure out what time that is where you live. Also, this is going to be different than the sun setting, okay? This is going to be nothing you've ever seen. If you are someplace where you can see the sun when this is happening, it's going to look like nothing you've ever seen. I will turn your feasts into mourning, and your songs into lamentations, and I will bring sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread or thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. This is what I was talking about, you guys. The Lord is going to be gone eventually here, but right when the darkness comes, people are going to cry out, and he will not be there. This is why I say, fall on your face now. Get saved now. Don't wait. There will be a deadline, and nobody knows when it is. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek for the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. That sounds awful. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They that swear in the sin of Samaria, and say, Thy God, O Dan, liveth, and their manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall, and never rise up again. Alright, so if we want to find out more about this darkness, we need to go to the Bible and see when it happened before, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun. And this prophecy is yet to be fulfilled. But the darkness plague has happened before. It happened in Exodus. It was the 9th plague. So we're going to go there now and check that out in Exodus 10. Okay, guys, here we are at the 9th plague, darkness. This is Exodus 10:21. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Alright, so here we go. 3 days of darkness. Everyone stayed inside, alright? It says that God's children had light in their dwellings. I don't know if they had candles or if this was like the glory of God kind of light. I'm not exactly sure. But I would highly suggest that you have white candles, white unscented candles in your house ready to burn for 3 days in case that's how you need to have your light. I just suggest white unscented candles because a lot of things these days are associated with witchcraft and could have spells and whatnot attached to them. So best to stay away from those kind of things. So the darkness which may be felt, okay, that is because it's the fallen coming. This is a plague of death. It will be trying to consume everyone in its path. So wherever you are when this hits, you need to stay there and black out the windows. I know I keep saying the windows because they can see in, then they can get in. If they can see through your window and see your eyes, and you can see them, that's all it takes. They'll get inside your spirit and you will die. This is supernatural. This is not a fairy tale. This is coming. So you best be prepared. And we're going to go to Jeremiah 8. Because this is going to give us the timeline we're on. Okay, because something just happened in this chapter, and will give us an idea of where we are in relative to the ground shaking and the darkness coming. At that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, out of their graves. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon, and all the host of heaven, whom they have loved, and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped. They shall not be gathered, nor be buried, They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places whither I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts. Moreover, thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Shall they fall, and not arise? Shall he turn away, and not return? All right, you see that's exactly what he was talking about in the beginning of Amos, going by for the last time, a famine of the Father. Why then is this people of Jerusalem slidden back by perpetual backsliding? They hold fast deceit. They refuse to return. Boy, don't we ever, huh? We have fallen so far from the Father, it's not even funny. People don't even think God's real anymore. I didn't. This nation's godless, even though it talks about God, but that's not the God of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob. That's the God of earth, Satan himself. I hearkened and heard, but they spake not aright. No man repented him of his wickedness, saying, What have I done? Every one turned to his course, as the horse rusheth into battle. Yea, the stork of the heaven knoweth her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane, and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of the Lord. How do ye say we are wise, and the law of the Lord is with us? Lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes is in vain. The wise men are ashamed. They are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them? Therefore will I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them. For every one of them, least even unto the greatest, is given to covetousness. From the prophet even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely. Does that sound familiar? Huh? That's exactly what's going on right now. Bunch of false prophets and a bunch of priests leading their flocks astray. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying peace when there is no peace. See, that's what's going on right now. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore shall they fall among them that fall. In the time of their visitation they shall be cast down, saith the Lord. How many abominations does this nation commit? Adultery, homosexuality flagrantly, pushing drag queens on children to read to them, murdering unborns. I mean, where does it end, right? I will surely consume them, saith the Lord. There shall be no grapes on the vine, nor figs on the fig tree, and the leaf shall fade, and the things that I have given them shall pass away from them. Why do we sit still? Assemble yourselves, and let us enter into the defenced cities, and let us be silent there. For the Lord our God hath put us to silence, and given us water of gall to drink, because we have sinned against the Lord. Y'all just saw that Watch the Water documentary, I hope, with Stu Peters. Yeah. Water of gall to drink. Look it up. Poisonous water. Okay? That was just exposed. We just went through this. We looked for peace, but no good came, and for a time of health, and behold, trouble. All right, look, where everybody was looking for peace, it wasn't coming, right? And then the virus came, and everybody was trying to get healthy, right? But by taking the V, behold, trouble. That's right, because that wasn't helping anybody. That was the virus. The snorting of the horses was heard from Dan. The whole land trembled at the sound of the neighing of his strong ones. For they are come and have devoured the land and all that is in the city and those that dwell in it. Here we go, guys. The snorting of his horses was heard, the whole land trembled. Okay, there's your earthquake. So after the snake venom, after we figure all this stuff out, here comes this earthquake. This is what's next. And after the earthquake, the darkness. Of course, it doesn't say that here, but it does say, for they are come and have devoured the land and all that is in it, the city and those that dwell therein. This is talking about the darkness, you guys. For behold, I will send serpents, cockatrices among you. Another word for cockatrices is the basilisk. All right? Which will not be charmed, and they shall bite you, saith the Lord. Cockatrice is a cock who lays an egg, which gives birth to a serpent. Twisted stuff, you guys. That's what's growing in the bellies of the people who have taken, well, you know, the V. Stick with me, you guys, because I found out you really do need to black out the windows. There is scripture for it, and it is coming up. When I would comfort myself against sorrow, my heart is faint in me. Behold the voice, the cry of the daughter of my people, because of them that dwell in a far country. Is not the Lord in Zion? Is not her king in her? Why have they provoked me to anger with their graven images and with strange vanities? The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. For the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black. Astonishment hath taken hold on me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? So Gilead is a medical company. And they don't heal people, do they? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? Well, you guys know what else is Gilead? This so-called fictional country from The Handmaid's Tale. The Republic of Gilead, sometimes colloquially referred to simply as Gilead, is the authoritarian theocratic regime that takes over the United States of America in the novel of The Handmaid's Tale. It would seem that Gilead originally began as a various religious extremist group that believed that America needed to be saved from sin and corruption. According to the conference transcript at the end of the novel, these coalesced into a single conspiracy which referred to itself as the Sons of Jacob. The Sons of Jacob devised and executed an elaborate coup d'etat against the United States government. Through a series of coordinated attacks, they assassinated the U.S. President and members of Congress, as well as 9 justices of the Supreme Court. Blaming the attacks on Islamic terrorists, the army, presumably under the influence of conspirators, then established martial law. In quick succession, the United States Constitution was suspended, online bank accounts were frozen, and all employed women were fired from their jobs. Offered recalls that the entire coup happened so fast that the widespread emotion among the general population was bewilderment, as the Sons of Jacob's own troops systematically cleared women out of places of employment. There were few protests in March at first, but this new Sons of Jacob government immediately responded with blunt, naked aggression deploying its own soldiers, not official U.S. military personnel, to mercilessly slaughter the unarmed protesters rather than disperse them. After the first protests were quashed with such sheer brutality, the population was too terrified to mount any further reaction. However, the sons of Jacob's actions against unarmed protesters would fan the flames of armed resistance, and various rebel groups and citizen militia units across the country started to take up arms against the sons of Jacob regime. The new government quickly began hunting down anyone they perceived as being ungodly or a threat. This included political activists, doctors, members of other religious groups, and gender minorities and intellectuals. Soon the United States of America ceased to exist, and from its ashes arose the Republic of Gilead. After the Republic of Gilead's establishment, armed resistance against the new regime would intensify even further, with rebel groups, pro-U.S. anti-Gilead citizen militias, and United States armed forces, who are still loyal to the U.S. government in exile in Anchorage, Alaska, going to war with Gilead with the goal of restoring the United States of America. It appears that Gilead existed on a scale of decades and not centuries. Several characters who were alive during the time frame of The Handmaid's Tale are described as dying during purges which occurred in the Middle Gilead period. This implies that there was a late Gilead period. Gilead eventually fell from power and is now studied in universities and schools in North America, where it is heavily implied that a new, secular, democratic government has been restored in power in the United States, with the harsh laws and regulations imposed by Gilead being overturned. I don't know, you guys, this doesn't really sound like fiction to me. Gilead, you see this area? This is exactly where Quetzalcoatl was, the feathered serpent that I did a whole long video on. This is his stomping ground, and how ironic. This all sounds like stuff that we're either seeing now or about to see. I had never read this book, but this blew my mind when I was reading the Bible and did a small search for Gilead to see where it would lead. I was looking into the medical company, but I found this way more interesting. So, not sure what you think, but I did want to throw it in there. Alright guys, this is where we find the need to black out the windows. Alright, remember, I was just looking for a reference. So this is right after the chapter I just read in Jeremiah 8. This is Jeremiah 9. Oh, that my head were waters, and my eyes fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them, that they may be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And they bend their tongues like the bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil. And they know not me, saith the Lord. Take heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders, and they will deceive every one his neighbor, and they will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongues to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Thine habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they refuse to know me, saith the Lord. That sounds an awful lot like a hive mind mentality, doesn't it? that all seem they're going to be acting all against God's people, like they're part of the hive. Almost like the V changed them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will melt them and try them, for how shall I do for the daughter of my people? Their tongue is as an arrow shot out, it speaketh deceit. One speaketh peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in heart he layeth his wait. Yep, there's going to be a lot of deceiving each other coming up soon. Shall I not visit them for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? For the mountains will I take up weeping and wailing, and for habitations of the wilderness a lamentation, because they are burned up, so that no one can pass through them, neither can men hear the voice of the cattle. Both the fowl of the heavens and the beasts are fled. They are gone. And I will make Jerusalem heaps, and a den of dragons, and I will make the cities of Judah desolate, without inhabitant. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of the Lord hath spoken, that he may declare it? For what? The land perisheth, and is burned up like a wilderness, that none passeth through. And the Lord saith, Because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imaginations of their own heart, and after Balaam, which their fathers taught them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts and the God of Israel, Behold, I will feed them, even this people with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. There it is again, you guys, water of gall and wormwood. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them, until I have consumed them. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Consider ye, and call for the mourning women, that they may come, and send for cunning women, that they may come, and let them make haste, and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run down with tears, and our eyelids gush out with waters. For a voice of wailing is heard out of Zion. How we are spoiled, we are greatly confounded, because we have forsaken the land, because our dwelling have cast us out. Yet hear the word of the Lord, ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. There you go, guys. For the death is come up into our windows, and entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcasses of the men shall fall as dung upon the open field, as a handful after the harvestmen, and none shall gather them. You know why none shall gather them? Because no one can go outside. This is talking about the darkness. This is how serious this is. Do not be caught outside. Do your due diligence and figure out your time zone. There are many, many ways I have seen that's trying to bait people outside, whether it be stargazing, or going out to watch the Great Conjunction, or going for the rapture, because this is the last day of the Passover. the 24th, it's also this conjunction people are waiting for. There's also an eclipse. Okay? Do I know for sure the 3 days of darkness is during this time? Of course not. But can I tell you as a watchman that it looks like that? Yes, I can. So be vigilant and watchful. I pray that you watched this whole video, because this is all important stuff. God bless. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe. God bless.